one story. In 2024, an illegal immigrant from India caused a multi-car pileup while driving a commercial 18-wheeler in California with a CDL issued from, I'm sure you would have guessed, California. That crash critically injuring then 5-year-old Dalilah Coleman, leaving her in a coma for 3 weeks and interfering with her ability to walk, talk, eat, or go to kindergarten. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy highlighting the story on X just yesterday, writing, "This beautiful girl, Dalilah Coleman, is left with life-altering injuries after a criminal illegal immigrant caused a wreck while operating a truck he should never have had a license to drive. California's weak leadership is failing Americans like Dalilah every day. My prayers are with her and her family." This driver is just one of the many who have wreaked havoc on America's roadways, with many more occurring after the wreck that injured Dalilah. Her family is calling out Governor Gavin Newsom for failed leadership. Dalilah Coleman is now 7 years old. As a result of this accident, she is now nonverbal and relearning how to walk, and she joins me right now alongside with her father, Marcus Coleman. They're here to share their story. Thank you both for being with us here today. Dalilah, you look beautiful. Marcus, thank you for being with us here today. Let's start with, how is Dalilah today? How is she feeling? How is she recuperating?
Delilah's doing good. Just picked her up from school today so she can join us during this segment right now. And right now she's going through intensive therapy for 3 weeks. She does 2 hours a day for the past 10 days already. This is her last week right now, and then she goes back to her regular 2 to 3 times a week. So she's doing pretty well. Still having, a long road to recovery ahead of us.
Now, that's some good signs. I understand the long road to recovery ahead of you. Dalilah, I don't know that you can hear me, but I'm happy you got to skip a little bit of school today to join us here on national television. Thank you for being with us here today. Marcus, you have been you've been vocal about this issue, about what happened to Dalilah and the leadership in California. I know you took note recently with a proposal in California, this time by Eric Swalwell, but to take licenses away from ICE agents in a state where illegal immigrants get commercial driver's license. And of course, we know what happened to Dalilah.
Of course. Yeah. I think they're trying to do what's going to favor them in the long run, no matter how many people it hurts. When Dalilah's accident first happened, I reached out to the governor's office via phone as well as email. I received nothing back at all. At this point, we've kind of been left hung out to dry to kind of fend for ourselves as far as everything goes, including her therapies. We applied for Social Security, got denied for that. Government assistance, got denied for that. And right now it's just kind of left up to us to sit there and take care of what we need to take care of. I'm a truck driver myself. Dalilah's been truck driving with me since she was born, pretty much. She's been to all 48 states. And now, since her accident, I had to stop truck driving. Now I'm here, trying to make things, and basically trying to make ends meet to satisfy her needs. And even then, we're still falling short, and there's nobody there to help us with it.
Marcus, you're a truck driver yourself. You're familiar with this situation. You're familiar with the CDL. You're familiar with the roadways.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just curious, with that perspective, and of course now this tragic accident that has involved your daughter, what you think about the lack of regulation, the permissiveness of putting these CDLs into the hands of people, in many cases, who cannot even speak English.
Yeah, it's gross negligence, to be honest with you. It'd be equal to giving, a 15-year-old a driver license and allowing them to operate, just regularly without any regulations or understanding of the law. California passed a law a while back allowing 18-year-olds to get CDL driver license, which is just ridiculous. Even 21-year-olds, there's a lot of insurance companies that won't insure anybody who's under 25. So to get a CDL at 21 years old alone is already, in my opinion, pretty neglectful. To allow somebody who's 18 years old, not understanding the true ways of the roadway, having any experience at all, to operate an 80,000-pound vehicle on roadways is extremely gross negligence. And here in California, they allow that. They passed that law because they said that there's a shortage of truck drivers. There's not a shortage of truck drivers. There's never been a shortage of truck drivers. There's been a shortage of companies that are willing to pay truck drivers what truck drivers deserve. And now that we have illegal immigrants coming into the U.S. and that are willing to take lower rates, now there's a shortage of truck drivers because all these companies are seeing that people are willing to get paid less to drive So now they're lowering their rates and nobody wants to do it. When I first started truck driving, we were getting paid somewhere around 45 to 50 cents a mile. And that was back in 2017. And it was going up. And then all of a sudden it just dropped big time. So when I capped out, I was about 70 cents a mile, 75 cents a mile. And now everybody's down to like 48 and 50 cents a mile, and sometimes even lower than that. And that has to do with the immigration.
What incredible insight. Thank you for sharing that with us, Marcus. My last question for you is, if I understood you correctly, you have not yet heard from California leadership, not from the governor, regarding Dalilah's tragic accident. What would be your message? Since you haven't been able to speak to them directly, what would be your message for the governor and other political leadership of California?
So to cover the first part of that question, we have not heard from the governor. We did hear from the governor when DHS posted Dalilah's story first back in September, October, somewhere around then. And they posted her story about the accident. The first thing he said was California did not issue him a CDL. The federal government did. And he posted that right under my daughter's story. Totally neglected her and didn't even acknowledge the fact that she was involved in a vehicle accident. He just went right over it and went straight for Trump and Secretary Noem. My message to him would be pay attention to your people here in California. We're the ones that should matter. I shouldn't have to be reaching out to anybody else to help us when he's here in California. He's the only person that I should reach out to. When my kids have a problem, my kids come talk to me. They don't go talk to the neighbor. They don't go talk to the people across the street or talk to the people at school. They come to me. And California, Newsom's responsible for California. I should have went to him. He should have handled this. I shouldn't have to reach out to anybody else. And now I'm having to step toe over him to get the results that I'm getting now, when I should have gotten them from him to begin with.
Wow. Marcus, thank you so much for everything you've articulated to us here today. Dalilah, again, I don't know if you can hear me, but thank you so much. I hope it was math. I hope the class that you missed was math, something extremely that you were excited about being able to skip out on today. So bye, Dalilah. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you.